Hey, so I was just getting some work done on my interactive map and thought I'd hop in here and make a video about the thing I'm doing, which is some background ambient sound design. I have a campfire button or a camp button, I forget what it's called, and I didn't have any really good fire sounds in the libraries that I had. I had one that, and the one that I used has some crickets in the background, and I already have, nighttime cricket stuff, so I kind of wanted to separate it. And I had an opportunity to build my own campfire recently, so I've got this recording on a field recorder, and I've got a bunch of these really. Probably like an hour of campfire. Experimenting with different gain on the microphone, and the first thing I do is I'll just find some stuff that sounds pretty close to what I want. I kind of want like this like low energy fire for this camp zone. Avoiding some of that background wind. Some wind right there. Maybe start here. See if that'll go for 5, 10, 15 seconds without a problem. To about there maybe. Yeah, 11 seconds, that's enough for one chunk. Basically what I'll do is I'll make a few chunks like this, and then I'll make the code, put it together at runtime. Some stuff in the background. Doesn't bother me too much. These though, whatever someone was doing in the background is probably going to be like, you'll hear it when it's playing over and over again for 20 minutes while you're playing D&D. It'll be a problem. So I'll start from right after the second one of those banging sounds. This section's pretty much perfect. Until you hear someone coming there. That's another one just as long. I'll probably do one more moderately length section if I've got one. Right in here is pretty good, I think. Yeah, let's do right in here to about here. And that'll be the third one. And I usually just get 3 chunks of ambience and then a bunch of one-shots. In this case, the one-shots are going to be other types of nighttime sounds, but I'll actually probably separate some of these popping sounds and edit those out of the long ambience. That way I can make a small library of those as well. And those can happen, those can get added at runtime basically. So I'll have little tiny sounds that'll be a few kilobytes like this. Yeah, that's almost perfect. Something like that. Perfect. So I'll just chop out, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 of those. Whatever I can find in here, the loudest ones. That's a good one too. And then I think there were a few over here. That one's good. And this will just create a great deal of variance at runtime. That's a good one. And then maybe that one. And then this one here is pretty good too. Although there's a few in a row, I'll just separate all of them. And then once I've got these, what I'll do is I'm going to take the, oh gosh, what have I done here? This is gonna be a mess. Let's do this. And I can re-edit all of this stuff together to make sure that these longer ambiances are relatively normal sounding. So sounds pretty good. Something like that, maybe. It's pretty good. It's the cool thing about fire. Just generally sounds pretty random already. Okay. That one has a footstep in it. Let's get rid of that. Something like that much of it, maybe. Yeah. And then I've got one more over here. How long are these? 12 seconds and 15 seconds. So let's just add this one to this one. We'll just have 2. This will probably be fine. If you have more or less, it's okay. Kind of all about the feel of it. I'll put a fade on each side. I'm going to make those consistent. I don't remember how much I was doing, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's just glue these items together and add little fades at the beginning and end of them. Something like that's probably okay. Cool. And then we've got 2 long ones, and then let's make a bunch of these little guys. These are always fun to do. Cool. That's a little quiet. Okay, that's a pretty good one. And you hear that rumble of the fire. If we just grab just a little crackle, they will stick out without creating any weird, awkward problems. Let's go maybe right here on that one. Oops, that one have more than one. That one might have more than one. Yeah, actually, let's grab another one from there. Oops. That third one's really good. And there isn't really a right or wrong way to do this editing workflow. I'm just demonstrating a few ways that I like doing it. If you want to use tab to transient, that's good too. Doesn't really matter. You'll always end up at about the same place, which is just having a bunch of little tiny items. That one's pretty good. And oops. You gotta watch out for your grid settings on this. I bounce between sound design and music all the time, so end up with awkward grid settings. Okay, so now I've got these. That first one's messed up. The other one are fine. Oh, the first one's a double. I see why. These doubles I actually might set up to play both of them, but nah. Well, the prep's the same either way. Cool, that's good. Okay, and now we want to make each of these things into its own region so I can bounce them out. And to do that, what did I have? Oops. Alt Shift C. Let me just see what that action is. What was that? Okay, markers, insert separate region. Okay, so that's markers, insert separate regions for each selected item. This is not by default attached to that key binding, so I haven't used it in a little bit, and I got this one from, what is that guy's name? Akash Thakkar, I think. I don't know. I'll correct that in the comments if I'm wrong about that. But good sound designer uses Reaper. Has some great region render matrix tricks. Anyway, this is all good to go, and let's just name these. Fire, crackle, and then actually the region number will get that. So fire, crackle is what I'll call this one. Copy that, and then just rename each of these. You could automate this, but since you have a different amount each time, I don't think it's that much extra work to just do them manually. Campfire. Whoops, I forgot to copy that one. Campfire. And that is holding shift and double clicking to rename those. You can also get that in a right click edit region. So that's that. And then save, and let's go in the region render matrix, which is, let's see here. I think I've got that over here. Yeah, region render matrix, and I'm just going to grab them all from the master mix. I've got very minimal processing, a little bit of a filter and a compressor on there. It's my default. It's really not much. Okay. What do we want to do now? We want to go in and render all of these into whatever output directory with wildcards as the name. So we want project information region, and then region number. This will be fine for now. I'm not actually grabbing any of this stuff with code. You could, for this particular map project, it's a pretty archaic system I'm using. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and grab them, and we'll put them in D&D, Marin sound design. Is that right? I think that's got to be where it goes. And then we'll just render them all. Master mix all project regions. Oh, I like to do the tiniest fade in and fade out. I don't need to do on this one though, because they're so short. Cool, that's all done. And then we'll open the folder, and here they are. I'll put this on my second monitor and move over to Unity now. So I'm going to save that project and open this up. And I'm going to go in and make a new folder in here. Let me make sure you can see. Oh, you can't really see it. Oops. Unity. Okay. Let's get rid of my face here so we can see what I'm doing. Okay. You know, we can just drag and drop these in. These are going to be fire, crackle 1 through 8. And actually, I think those go in ambience. One shots. Here we go. One shots is where those go in this project. Again, do this however you want. So import the one shots, and then we want to import the ambience, which is just 2 fire sounds, campfire 9 and campfire 10. Go in here. Those will take a little bit longer. Once we've got those, you want to make sure you set your where is this? Let me actually bring this over here to the left side of the monitor. So with both these highlighted, we can go in and adjust the compression settings. I like to hit optimize sample rate, and I've been using 70. Let's see if these are consistent. Yeah, that seems to work for me, so I'll leave that alone. Go to quality 70 and optimize sample rate, and we'll just apply these settings. That'll make those nice and small, 1.1 megabytes for those 2 campfire sounds. And then the one shots, fire, crackle, 1 through 8, go down to 70 here as well, and optimize the sample rate, apply that. And now that's just 12.7 kilobytes. And I haven't actually tried this yet, but I'm assuming it'll work. It makes sense in my head. So what we want to do is to go into our audio, and the one shots here I've got preloaded essentially. These will just play from time to time. And I have these as essentially folders with a script on them. So I'm just going to duplicate one of these, and I'm going to call this one Fire Crackle. And I should have left this over here. Let's just get rid of this. Let's go into versions and just get rid of all of these. And I'm going to lock that in the inspector and bring all these fire crackle sounds into that array. And I'm going to say this is part of, oh, this is the mixer thing. I didn't make a mixer snapshot for Campfire. I'm probably using Forest at Night or something like that. Night sounds, yeah. Let's call it part of Night Sounds. Let's see. And we need these to have a long wait between them, probably. Let's see, the minimum wait is 8 seconds. Maximum wait is maybe 20 seconds. Okay, so that's one of them. And then the other one is background ambience. So where's the campfire? I swear I made it. Campfire, here we go. They're not alphabetized anymore. I should bring this back up. And the campfire is going to have, don't need these anymore. And I'll bring in my new one. If I can find it. Oh, it belongs in the other folder. Campfire 0809. And then campfire. Bring those into the array. And that should just sort of work right now. So I'm going to save the project and play it. Let's see if it does. You hear those little pops in the campfire. I actually don't mind them, and I feel like there could be more of them. So on the pops for the campfire, I'm going to set the, oh, this is locked in, the minimum wait time to something like 4 or 5 seconds, the max wait to more like 15 seconds. And that's probably going to be a little bit better. So I guess we should look in this script real quick. So I'll see everyone later, the people that are not into this kind of stuff. So my one-shot script is actually, I haven't opened this in a little bit. Basically, I've serialized the wait times and the things that get edited a lot. And I have a method for when the ambience starts, a method that essentially just grabs the wait time and returns it, and a method for scheduling the next one. And this is working much the same way as my music system. The biggest difference being that it doesn't really need to keep track of of bars or beats. Like you can have different amounts of time between it. So it'll play back at a randomized volume range, a randomized pitch range, a randomized stereo pan position. This particular one I would consider changing so it does not play back at a randomized stereo pan range. So it sounds like the campfire is coming from one spot. But for my personal use, it doesn't really matter. I don't really care. So I'll leave that alone. If I wanted to do that, I could just serialize a float for the pan position, and I'm not even going to bother with that. So anyway, that's whoops. That's my audio system, and that's how I add stuff to it. So I guess I'll just play us out with a little bit of that campfire sound and make sure it worked before I save this project and forget. Nice and relaxing, right? Welcome to camp. You really want to listen for when the sound effects change, because in this case, sometimes when they play back at a different pitch, sometimes you run into a problem where you made too much of a fade between them or something. This one sounds really good though. So I am pleased with it, and I think I will leave it there. Cool. I'll see you all next time.